All right, so this is my second try at making a little video about my game made with Meshy. So I'm trying to make this game with Codex and Meshy. Codex decided to call it Trench Survival, which is what I've been going with since it's pretty accurate. So Meshy is pretty good with animations for small stuff, like when I was doing my tower defense game. However, um, I haven't found a way to animate hands or something like that, and I have no idea how to animate in Blender or anything like that. So in my game, I started with a rifle that looked something like this. Um, it's kind of a dieselpunk game. The entire design is kind of based around that. If we go back way up to the top, we can start to see some of these are my world designs or generations. It's kind of neat. This was a little bit too Warhammer for my taste. So it's just stuff like this kind of world building stuff. I think it's a pretty cool aesthetic. I think the original image that I had it generate is what I started to feed it. This is not the original image. The original image, if we navigate over to my profile and we check out my collections, I've been sharing most of the models onto the Meshy collection page, so you can check it out for yourself if you want. This is the original image that I generated to kind of serve as the framework for all other generations. So I didn't want to deal with having to rig hands and arms. So what I did was, after generating my weapons, I asked it to generate a pair of arms holding the weapon. And so it worked pretty well. These are the various weapons that I ended up adding to the game. Um, and before I added it to the game, of course, I had to generate the model. And Mesh did a great job. I found with smaller models, it gets kind of finer detail. So this was a little auto pistol that I had added to the game. Um, so let's check out how Codex did with actually putting the game together. So we can open, I have a combat test here and two combat tests. I'm trying out two additional enemies. Right now we're just going to try out the test level. So it might be a little bit loud, so be quick with your volume if you're sensitive to that. That plane, everything you see on screen, oh, that's quick to shoot, wow. Everything you see on screen is all generated by Mesh. Oh, I forgot. Okay, so you're gonna have to bear with me. The ragdolls got messed up the last time I was working with Codex because it was trying to make a ragdoll for one of the new enemies, and it's, AI is unpredictable, so it messed up. Some of my old stuff, it's really unfortunate because I ran out of credits, so I'm just gonna have to wait. But this is kind of what the game looks like. We can cycle through the various weapons that I have added. I added shells just recently. All the models, of course, are meshy. We've got the blimps up in the sky, the airplane that flies by every now and then, wherever it went, and all of these cool guns. Oh yeah, wow, that ragdoll's totally broken. We're gonna have to fix that. The shotgun. Now I will say I did model my own shells because I ran out of mesh credits too. And ChatGPT generated this kind of interesting looking device. So I decided to throw it in, have Meshy generate the model. But all of these world pieces, so this is a 90-degree trench piece. We can go ahead and zoom out. We can open the 3D of the combat test. So this is one piece right here that I had Meshy generate. And it worked pretty well for what I was doing. another 90-degree piece, and here's a straight piece. So I can kind of put it together and form this this kind of maze in the test level. I should be able to just open up the test level down here, hopefully, maybe not. Levels, trench test level, all right. All right. And all these paths, again, actually the pathing for the blimp, which you can barely see there, and the plane, and the other blimp, or Zeppelin, I guess. I didn't need Codex to make those. I just kind of figured it out with Google. But yeah, all of these additional world assets, all meshy. This truck, these big spotlights, this stuff. And since the player can look through these windows, I decided to make these large landscapes, kind of fill up some of the distance. Cool truck. All the models were decimated as well, but that wasn't serving me super well. So what I ended up doing was I made a authoring tool in Codex to be able to put together my own trench pieces out of more primitive pieces. So if we go down, we open up our assets, environment, trench modules, no, trench pieces. So now we have just a ground piece, and we can assemble all the ground. Yes, now we get to walls. We can assemble our own trench pieces and not be beholden to these pre-manufactured pieces. We can kind of make it however we like. And it is working out pretty well so far. So if we go over to the grid builder, what that allowed us to do, since, it's just kind of working with the tools that we have available to us. Meshy doesn't have, it's not perfect, especially the ChatGPT image generation isn't perfect. So what I had to do was make a method to be able to have everything on a perfect grid, because eventually I'd like these levels to be procedurally generated mazes. So we have this system where we can validate, okay, layout validation passed. We can go ahead and delete that, validate. Okay, that's not right. Well, I guess there's some work to do then. Straight 02. Maybe actually if we actually can't put it there. Okay, well good. You shouldn't be able to. So let's see, try playing it now. It takes a little bit longer to load. But effectively plays kind of the same. This should though have better enemy navigation pathing. And the levels should kind of flow together more seamlessly. Yeah, see how they're kind of sneaking up on me and hiding. Gotta blow one away. Cool. Now I want to show also we have the shotgunner. He's the new enemy. He kind of runs up and starts blasting the shotgun. Make the player not for this. And he's got the same auto shotgun that you can pick up. Oh, we died. Too bad. Check out the machine gunner. He's really well suppressed by the shotgun. But this is where it is so far. It's come a long way. There's all sorts of little assets that, I've had a good time adding into the game. You know, it's a lot of fun, and I really can't wait to, you know, get more ChatGPT credits so I can make the game better. Um, these textures look so bad because I generated a bunch in, you know, at one time, and I decimated all the models. Um, but you know, looks good from a distance. That's all we're shooting for. All right, till next time.